In today's video, we're going to delve into the idea of heart-centered resilience, what it means and why it's crucial for success. This is a highly relevant topic, especially in this day and age, as many individuals may not fully understand or be unsure about how to develop resilience in a compassionate and love-based way. When we take a look at people who have achieved their aspirations versus those who haven't, the most significant distinguishing factor is typically their level of resilience. Those who thrive tend to possess a high capacity for resilience, while those who struggle often exhibit a lower capacity. In essence, resilience is our capacity to withstand discomfort for an extended period of time. The greater our capacity to sit with discomfort, the higher our potential for success. Conversely, individuals with a lower tolerance for discomfort often tend to face more challenges and less success in life. Interestingly, having a higher level of resilience can lead to less pain and suffering in our lives. The more we can manage and develop a relationship with discomfort, the less we tend to experience it over time. It may seem paradoxical, but the advantage of having a high level of resilience is more joy and less pain, while the downside of low resilience is more suffering and more pain. So why does this matter? Developing resilience can help us accomplish our goals and live a more fulfilling life. Throughout this video, we're going to explore what resilience means, why it's crucial, and how we can train ourselves to become more resilient. If we talk about it in practical terms, there's a close link between resilience and willpower. For example, if your ability to sit with discomfort is low, you may decide to skip the gym after a long day at work, even though you know that if you worked out, you would feel better. Because past experience has shown you that when you do work out, you experience less stress, you feel more grounded, you feel like your mind and body get stronger. But I understand how tempting it can be to put off working out because you're just exhausted. You figure that there's always tomorrow. But our ability to say no in those moments is a demonstration of resilience. It's enduring the temporary discomfort of that urge or desire for the easier option and making a more conscious choice instead. Now, some people might not consider this a display of resilience, but it's a form of emotional and physical discomfort that we have to withstand. If we have a high level of resilience and can make these healthy choices day after day, we'll achieve greater health and vitality with less pain and discomfort in the body. On the other hand, individuals with low resilience and a strong drive for instant gratification may end up with heart disease, diabetes, or a multitude of other health issues that can ultimately lead to pain and suffering. We can see the effect that resilience can have in our relationships as well. Let's say we're in a relationship with a significant other or close friend. We have a need that we want them to fulfill, but if we have a low level of resilience, we might act out if we don't get what we want right away. We might feel slighted, lonely, or taken for granted, and we might demand that our partner or friend meet our needs immediately. But if we aren't able to endure discomfort or wait for our needs to be met, our relationships can deteriorate over time. This can lead to divorce, friendships that fall apart, or a host of other challenges. On the other hand, if we have a high level of resilience, we can take a different approach. Instead of demanding what we want right away, we can try to understand our partner or friend's perspective. We might realize that they're going through a tough time, or that they have a busy schedule. We might be able to wait a little longer for our need to be met, knowing that it will happen sooner than later. By having compassion and appreciation for a partner or friend, we can maintain a healthy relationship even when we don't get what we want right away. And so our ability to tolerate discomfort and delay gratification can lead to greater happiness and fulfillment in our relationships as well. There are times that if we can wait for our needs to be met, we can enjoy the relationship experience more fully and avoid unnecessary conflict and stress. We can see the same effect resilience can have on our finances as well. If we have a habit of spending without restraint, we'll end up buying whatever catches our eye without thinking of the future. We can see the difference between people who end up working in jobs they hate in the years leading up to retirement because they aren't able to support themselves, and those who have resilience and invested their money wisely. The latter group endured the discomfort of not having everything they wanted right away and instead saved, invested, and worked hard even while their friends were chasing short-term experiences. As a result, they now have the freedom to do what they want and live a very different existence than those who lacked resilience. I could give you many more examples, but the bottom line is this. People with a high level of resilience tend to have less pain and suffering in their lives than those with low levels. When we constantly seek immediate satisfaction, it often results in increased pain and suffering. However, if we can delay gratification and build resilience, we can experience greater happiness and fulfillment in life, while avoiding a lot of unnecessary pain and suffering. We can see this in our health, in our relationships, and in our career and finances. But it's important to note that there's a distinction between discomfort and pain. Discomfort is the temporary feeling of unease that we might experience when we're working towards a goal or enduring a difficult situation. On the other hand, pain is a warning sign from our body or mind that something is wrong and needs to be addressed. Ignoring pain can ultimately lead to injury, whether it's physical or emotional. For example, pushing through physical pain during exercise can lead to long-term damage in the body. However, if when you're working out, your muscles start to burn because you're pushing yourself hard, that's discomfort. If you can endure the discomfort, you'll become stronger and more resilient. The only way to get stronger is to subject your body to healthy stress, which is also called eustress. Examples of eustress might be lifting heavier weights or raising your heart rate. But this is different from ignoring pain. Ignoring pain leads to injury and, over time, long-term damage and perhaps even surgery. The same goes for relationships. Discomfort might be the feeling of allowing yourself to be more vulnerable in a relationship. By opening up and relinquishing your fears of rejection, it helps build trust and honesty, fosters empathy, and ultimately a stronger bond. If you are able to endure that discomfort, it will lead to greater happiness and fulfillment, and in the end, less pain and suffering. It can actually strengthen your relationship and make it more healthy and full of vitality. But this discomfort is different from pain. Pain, as an example, might be something like enduring emotional abuse in a relationship, which can cause lasting trauma and emotional distress. For example, emotional abuse could take the form of being shamed, controlled, or ridiculed. In these cases, endurance is not the answer. Instead, it's vital to seek a way out. Therefore, it's important to recognize the difference between discomfort and pain, and to prioritize our health and well-being by addressing pain when it arises. Building resilience through discomfort can lead to a happier and more fulfilling life, but not at the expense of our physical and/or emotional health. So with this awareness, what can we do? The idea is to build up our resilience to discomfort by intentionally training a high tolerance for it. The more we can handle discomfort, the stronger and more empowered we become. This can look different in different areas of our lives, but if you look around you, you'll see that people who are truly thriving, they all have a high level of resilience. You can see this in top-level athletes, professional musicians, successful entrepreneurs, as well as those in truly thriving relationships, whether it's intimate romantic ones, close friendships, or between parents and their children. By pushing themselves through discomfort, they become stronger and better at what they do. This is a critical aspect of resilience. At the same time, when it comes to pain and suffering, we should intentionally train a low tolerance from it. These are signs that something is wrong and that we may be hurting ourselves. It's important to learn to distinguish between eustress and discomfort, which can lead to growth, and unhealthy stress and pain, which can cause long-term damage and dysfunction. It is by training both of these aspects that we can have access to greater strength and capacity, and ultimately less suffering. Big picture-wise, healthy discomfort is necessary to build resilience. You've probably had experiences in life where you demonstrated resilience and built up a greater capacity to handle challenges. Perhaps it was through the influence of a teacher at school, a coach or mentor, or a parent. They probably pushed you a bit further than you thought was possible for yourself at the time. Although it may have been difficult, you were able to persevere and grow from the experience. And if you're honest with yourself, those were the times when you had to lean in, endure stress, and tolerate discomfort. But you did it, and as a result, you became stronger. Life became easier in some way. Pain and suffering diminished, and you were able to achieve your goals. Discomfort is a natural part of growth. It's a necessary part of creating the life you deserve. If you're interested in training greater resilience in your own life and want to be supported on your path, I invite you to check out my Fundamentals Fulfillment Live course using the first link in the description box below. Our next group cohort begins on June 27th with a pre-launch sale running through May 30th. But there's also a self-paced, self-study version that you can start at any time. The live version is a 6-month experience where I will share with you a proven method of learning to train your inner mental, emotional, and physical patterns so that they align with the outcomes you choose to create in life. Many people end up developing a high tolerance to pain and suffering, which unfortunately just leads to more pain and suffering and not the better life they aspire to. In my Fundamentals of Fulfillment program, you'll learn how to train your capacity to withstand healthy discomfort so that you can bounce back from difficult situations and set healthy boundaries and say no to situations that aren't serving you and may even be harming you. Through drills and exercises, you'll train practical skills and tools to help you build a higher level of resilience. And one last thing, it's truly impossible to completely eliminate discomfort from our lives. But what we can do is develop a better relationship with it so that we can better thrive. Ultimately, the decision to eliminate pain and suffering is up to us. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.